I found the lesson plan on the kitchen counter in our Seattle Craftsman home, its pages fluttering under the ceiling fan like a confession begging to be read. My wife, Sarah, had dashed out after the parent-teacher conference at Lincoln High, mumbling about a late staff meeting. She'd left her navy tote bag behind, and there it was her spiral-bound notes, edges curling, a post-it stuck to the cover screaming asterisk, "Don't lose this," asterisk in her loopy handwriting. I flipped it open, expecting dry algebra jargon. Instead, I got punched in the gut. "Meet me after class, gorgeous. I can't stop thinking about your hands on me," read the first line, scrawled in red ink across the margin of a quadratic equation worksheet. My stomach lurched. Another page. "Last night was reckless, your lips taste like sin. By the time I hit, I need you again. Don't make me wait." My hands were shaking so hard I dropped the damn thing. Sarah, my wife of 8 years, 36 years old, high school math teacher, mother of our 2 kids, was fucking someone else. And she'd been dumb enough or arrogant enough to leave the evidence where I could find it. I'm Nick, 41. A structural engineer who spends his days designing bridges for Puget Sound's endless sprawl. I'm not a poet or a detective, but that night, October drizzle streaking the windows, I became both. Sarah's secret wasn't just a fling, it was a goddamn novel, and I was about to rip through every page. The parent-teacher conference had been a blur. Sarah had worn that emerald blouse that hugged her curvous 5'6", slim but with hips that still turned heads, her auburn hair cascading in waves she'd spent 20 minutes taming. She'd kissed me goodbye that morning, her hazel eyes bright, promising to be home by 8. It was 10:30 now, and her phone went straight to voicemail. I paced the hardwood floor, the lesson plan splayed out like a crime scene, my mind racing. Who the hell was Jay? I poured a bourbon, neat, and sat at the dining table, staring at the evidence. The kids, Ellie, 7, and Max, 5, were at my sister's for the night. Good thing, too, because I was 2 seconds from smashing something. Then the front door clicked open. "Nick, you still up?" Sarah's voice, light and casual, floated in. She stepped into the kitchen, her heels clicking on the tile, a vision in that blouse and a pencil skirt that showed off legs I used to worship. She froze when she saw the lesson plan in my hand. "What's that doing out?" she asked, her tone too sharp, too quick. I held it up, my voice low and steady despite the fire in my chest. "You tell me, Sarah. Who's Jay?" Her face went pale, lips parting like she'd rehearsed this moment but forgot the lines. "Nick, it's not. Don't lie to me." I slammed the book on the table, pages flapping. I read it. All of it. Reckless. Sin. I need you again. You gonna tell me this is some student's creative writing project? She flinched, then straightened, defiance flickering in her eyes. "You weren't supposed to see that." "No shit," I snapped. 8 years, Sarah. 2 kids. And you're screwing around with some guy named Jay? Who is he? She crossed her arms, jaw tight. "It's not what you think." "Then explain it," I growled, stepping closer. "Because right now, I think my wife's been fucking someone else behind my back." The silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then she whispered, "It's Jake." Jake. My brain short-circuited. Jake Russo, 34, the gym teacher at Lincoln High. 6 foot whoa, built like a linebacker, dark hair, and a cocky grin I'd always hated. We'd met him at the school's fall festival last year, tossed Ellie in the air while Sarah laughed. Her cheeks flushed. I thought it was harmless. Now I wanted to break his goddamn neck. The next morning, I called in sick and drove to Lincoln High. Sarah had left at dawn. No words, just the clatter of her keys as she grabbed her bag minus the lesson plan, which I'd hidden in my desk. I needed answers, and I wasn't waiting for her to spoon-feed me lies. The school parking lot was half empty, rain drumming on my windshield as I watched teachers file in. Then I saw him, Jake, strutting across the asphalt in a tracksuit, a gym bag slung over his shoulder, his broad frame cutting through the mist like he owned the place. I got out, my boots splashing in puddles, and intercepted him at the gym entrance. "Hey, Russo," I called, voice tight. He turned, that smug grin spreading. "Nick, right?" Sarah's husband. What's up, man? Up close, he was all muscle and bravado, a guy who knew he looked good, tan skin, sharp jaw, eyes that probably melted half the faculty. I clenched my fists. You fucking my wife? His grin faltered, just for a second. Then he laughed, a short, nervous bark. Whoa, dude, chill. What's this about? I stepped closer, rain soaking my jacket. Her lesson plan. Love notes in red ink. J. Ring a bell. He swallowed, eyes darting. Look, Nick, I don't know what you. Don't bullshit me. I cut in, voice rising. She admitted it last night. You're Jake, right? So tell me how long. He rubbed the back of his neck, glancing around like he hoped someone would save him. It's not. It was a mistake. Okay? Couple months. We didn't mean for it to happen. A mistake. I laughed, bitter and loud. You accidentally screwed my wife for months? Before he could answer, a voice cut through the rain. Nick? What the hell are you doing? It was Rachel, Sarah's best friend and the school counselor, hurrying toward us. 5'4", petite, with blonde curls and a yoga-toned figure that made her look younger than her 38 years. She'd been at our wedding, hosted our baby showers. Now she was staring at me like I was the bad guy. Ask him, I said, nodding at Jake. He's been banging Sarah. Rachel's eyes widened, flicking to Jake, then back to me. Oh my God. Nick, I had no idea. Bullshit. I spat. You're her best friend. You telling me you didn't notice? She shook her head, rain plastering her hair to her face. I swear I didn't. She's been distant. Sure, but I thought it was stress grading. The kids. Jake shifted, uneasy. Look, man, I'm sorry. It's over, all right? I'll back off. Over. I stepped into his space, voice low. You don't get to decide that. I do. Rachel grabbed my arm. Nick, stop. You're scaring me. Let's go inside. Talk this out. I yanked free, glaring at them both. Talk? My marriage is a fucking train wreck? And you want to talk? That night, I confronted Sarah again. The kids were still at my sister's, thank God, because the kitchen turned into a war zone. She stood by the sink, arms crossed. Her blouse swapped for a sweater that clung to her slender frame, her beauty a knife twisting deeper. How'd it start? I demanded, bourbon in hand, the lesson plan open between us. She sighed, eyes on the floor. It was stupid. A staff happy hour at the Rusty Anchor last spring. Too many drinks. He walked me to my car, and it just happened. Just happened? I echoed, voice dripping sarcasm. And the notes? The, I need you again? That just happened too. Her gaze snapped up, fierce. I didn't plan it, Nick. You're always working late, buried in blueprints. Jake listened. He made me feel wanted. Wanted. I slammed the glass down, amber sloshing. I've been killing myself to keep this family afloat. Bills. Mortgages? Your fucking ass, and you're screwing the gym rat because I don't whisper sweet nothings? You don't get it, she shouted, tears welling. I'm drowning too. Teaching, parenting, pretending everything's fine when I'm falling apart. So you fall into his bed? I roared. 8 years, Sarah. I trusted you. She swiped at her eyes, voice breaking. I'm sorry. I ended it last week. I swear. Last week. I laughed, hollow. After months of lies? How do I believe a word you say? She stepped closer, reaching for me. Nick, I love you. We can fix this. I pulled back, her touch burning. Love? You don't even know what that means. The next twist came 2 days later, at a dive bar called the Blue Heron. I'd gone to clear my head, nursing a beer, when Rachel slid onto the stool beside me. She looked different, jeans hugging her legs, a leather jacket framing her slim shoulders, green eyes sharp under the dim lights. Thought I'd find you here, she said, signaling the bartender. You okay? I snorted. My wife's a cheater, and I'm the asshole yelling at everyone. You tell me. She sipped her gin, studying me. I talked to Sarah. She's a mess. Says she's terrified you'll leave. Good, I muttered. She should be. Rachel leaned in, voice soft. I get it, Nick. You're pissed. But there's something you don't know. I froze, bottle halfway to my lips. What? She hesitated, then dropped the bomb. Jake's been bragging to the staff. Said Sarah wasn't the only one. There's a science teacher, Lisa, too. Tall brunette. Legs for days his type. I stared, the room tilting. He's cheating on my wife while she's cheating on me? Rachel nodded, grim. Yeah, he's a dick. Sarah doesn't know. I laughed. A jagged, ugly sound. This is some soap opera bullshit. There's more, she said, eyes locking mine. I saw her car at his place last night. After she told you it was over. The air left my lungs. You're sure? Positive, she said. I drove by on my way home. Nick, she's lying. I didn't go home that night. I crashed at my buddy Tom's place 4 to 3. A divorced contractor with a beard like a lumberjack and a spare room that smelled of sawdust. He poured me a whiskey and listened as I unloaded everything. She's playing you, man, he said, sprawled on his couch, his guts straining his flannel shirt. Cut her loose. You don't need this crap. I've got kids, I said, staring at the glass. A house. A life. Had a life, he corrected, blunt. She torched it. Question is, what are you gonna do? I didn't answer. My head was a mess. Sarah's betrayal, Jake's arrogance, Rachel's intel. Was Sarah still in deep, or was she clawing her way out? Did I even want her back? The next morning, I saw her at the house. She was in the living room, folding laundry, her hair tied up, looking small and fragile in yoga pants and a tank top that showed off her toned arms. She glanced up, hopeful. Nick, you're home, she said, voice trembling. Can we talk? I tossed the lesson plan on the coffee table. Rachel saw your car at Jake's last night. You gonna lie about that too? Her face crumpled, hands dropping the shirt she'd been folding. I went to end it for good. He wouldn't let it go. Bullshit, I said, cold. You're still fucking him. No, she cried, stepping toward me. I swear, Nick, I told him it's done. He grabbed me, tried to kiss me, pushed him off. I left. I searched her eyes, desperate to believe her. But the trust was gone, shattered like glass under a hammer. Why should I believe you? Because I'm begging you, she whispered, tears streaming. I messed up. I'll do anything, counseling, whatever you want. Just don't leave me. I stood there, silent, the weight of 8 years pressing down. The kids' toys littered the floor. Photos of us grinning at Mount Rainier mocked me from the walls. Could I rebuild this? Did I even want to? A week later, I met Jake one last time. Outside the gym, dusk painting the sky orange. I handed him an envelope, photos Rachel had snapped of his car at Lisa's place. Time-stamped. His jaw tightened as he flipped through them. Stay away from Sarah, I said, voice steel. Or these go to the principal. And your wife. He glared, all bravado gone. You're a prick, Nick. Takes one to know one. I shot back, walking away. That night, I sat on our porch, rain tapping the roof, a beer in hand. Sarah was inside, cooking dinner, humming like nothing had happened. I hadn't decided. Divorce papers sat unsigned in my desk, next to that damn lesson plan. Part of me wanted to burn it all down, start over. Part of me still saw the girl I'd married, flawed and broken but mine. The door creaked. She stepped out, her silhouette soft against the light, and sat beside me. What are we doing, Nick? She asked, voice small. I looked at her, then out at the wet street. I don't know. And that was the truth. Trust was a ghost, marriage a battlefield. Maybe we'd fight for it. Maybe we'd walk away. All I knew was the rain kept falling, and I was still here for now.